if we bumped, stay with me here, if we bumped the state pension age to 75, right, I know. Right,
Oh, no, it's gone.
Boo, who invited this guy?
right, we put the state pension age at 75, and all of a sudden the state pension that you're currently getting of around £12,500 a year could become somewhere nearer to £20,000 a year because it's paid much later. And then everybody says, yeah, but I'm not going to work till I'm 75. I just definitely cannot do that. And that's fine. Okay. So first of all, we wouldn't get there until about 2070. So we're talking about 50 or so years in the future. So we're only talking about the kind of...
That's still our lifetime, mate. That's still our lifetime.
So we gradually increase the state pension age between
86.
now and the
Right.
2070-ish, right? So that by the time we get there, the state pension age has crept up to 75. And alongside that, everybody's saving enough in private pensions, and here's the fun bit, right? They turn around and say, well, look, I want to retire now, I'm 65. And that's great, because what you can do with your private savings is you've only got to draw on them for 10 years. You can take 20 grand a year out of your private savings in today's money, which with decent contribution rates, most people could build up enough money to do. You get your private savings for the first 10 years of your retirement. That carries you through to age 75. And if you're still alive at 75, the state pension kicks in at a level that is now sufficient to keep you in a reasonable standard of living for the rest of your life. So you kind of solve two problems there, because on the one hand, you've made the state pension sustainable. And on the other hand, you've also solved that really thorny problem of how do I make my private savings last for the rest of my life when I don't know what investment returns I'm going to get and I don't know how long I'm going to live for? Well, if we reframe the question of, well, it's only going to last you for 10 years, right? So your £200,000 pot of money that you've built up, you can just run it down to zero over the next 10 years, and then you'll get your state pension from 75, and that will be at a decent level, and that will sustain you for the rest of your life.
It becomes almost like a care pension. It's like for people, it's later life care, right? It just kicks in at that point.
So, I mean, that's quite spicy, I recognise, but I think we need to think kind of radically if we're going to move on from where we are today, which is a system that is just managed decline.
Spicy is the word. So 14% of people don't reach current state pension age. They die beforehand. Just tough titties to them lot.
Yep.
Is it?
Which is what happens today.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I mean, if we raise it, there's going to be even more people.
Yeah, you're going to go to like what?
Do you know the average age of life expectancy in the UK? For men, 78.8, according to ChatGPT, 78.8 years.
Is that cohort or period life expectancy?
I don't know how
So that's like
women a little bit
Python.
longer.
Is that the European or African swallow?
Yeah. African. Is African swallow?
Anyway,
the
I mean, but also it's very location dependent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the disparities.
Blackpool is 74.
Yeah, right. So just
they're
down the
not
road
going
from where I live,
So they're
it's
dead,
really
yes.
low.
Sorry,
You go
Blackpool.
into the nice bits of the Lake District, it's probably like 90 or something.
Well, Chelsea is like 80s, right?
Yeah.
So this feels like it's the wealthy that would get the state pension.
This is what happens today, right? And currently you've got to pay 35 years worth of national insurance to qualify for a state pension. Well, if you do a full working life, you'll have paid somewhere nearer to 50 years worth of national insurance. You don't get any extra money for those extra years of national insurance you pay. The government just banks it. I mean, there are a lot of inconsistencies in the system. But the whole point of the state pension was to provide an old age security blanket for the people who have outlived their resources, right? And somewhere over the last 50 years, it's morphed into something where we've come to regard it as a right. That, that's I think we need to get somewhere back to the fundamental founding principles of the state pension, which is this is a collective insurance scheme to provide for people who don't have adequate resources to provide for themselves in their later old age.
Okay, it's a bit mad.
So how are you going to sell that to me and basically say you've still got to pay the same rate of NI, you've still got to fund everybody now and through their retirements, but you're not going to get it till 75. Where's my carrot?
So the carrots are twofold. One is we will make sure you get to build up a decent private pension saving. And I know it's different
By
for you.
paying for it myself through
you are the employer, right?
That's not a carrot.
Right. So, look, we've said all along, there's no easy answers here. We've got to go somewhere with this.
But it's always that it's the young'uns.
Yeah.
That's what I
So
mean. Like,
this is a way you get to retire, right? This is a way you get a private pension pot of your own and you get a state pension that is sustainable in the long term. If we don't do this, you might not get either of those things. So
could you cut tax on me today? If we're saying that is it, or is it just that we've got to maintain the arrangement for the current
I have no answer to that question. So when you start getting down into the weeds, okay, do we change the capital gains tax rate? Do we change the national insurance rate? Do we change the income tax rate? I mean, here's another spicy one for you. I'd get rid of most pensions tax relief, right? I'd flip it on its head and I'd say, because it costs tens of billions of pounds a year, that I don't think is actually being that effective, either in boosting people's private savings or in incentivizing them to save for themselves. I'd have some fairly modest upfront saving, like the first £1,000 you put in, you get £500 from the government or something like that. And thereafter, it's coming out of taxed income, but when you get it grows tax-free, and when you get to the other end, you get to take it all out tax-free, in contrast to the current system where the money you draw out of your pension is all taxable.
So you would flip it to almost like an ISA?
Correct.
Right. Yeah, as someone who loves that like slapping money in from my limited company,
I know,
like, hearing that. I think the people who are engaged in their pensions really do realise the value of that tax relief.
And I recognise in all I'm talking here, both with the state pension and with the tax relief stuff, there is a whole load of work you'd have to do to work out how you could make it all effective.
I think you'd have to leave the country after you bought all this in, to be honest with you, mate.
This is back to where we started from, which is, if
you ain't winning that fight.
The easiest solution is just to do nothing and kick the can down the road and let the next lot deal with it in 5 years' time, because I'll be out of power by the time the chickens come home to roost.